gorgeous light beings, my healers, my star seeds, my light workers. Welcome back to my channel, The Pleiadian Priestess. Thank you for joining me here today, for allowing me to read for you. And in today's reading, we're going to be getting into how do you view yourself versus how others view you. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I was excited to get into it. I wanted to do something different, something that would excite me. And this was very good. I liked it. So we have 4 groups, okay? You can choose more than one if you feel called to do so, but you can start with one. You're going to choose the image, the energy, the number, the colors that call out to you the most. And as always, I will see gorgeous people at your reading. Now, if the reading resonates with you and you want a personal reading, you could always get in touch with me using my email in the description box below. But yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever floats your boat. It does help the channel. I would appreciate you guys if you were to do those things. And I thank you and I love you. And as always, I will see gorgeous people at your reading. Mwah. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group ones. Welcome to your reading. If you chose thumbnail image 1 or however you made your way here, welcome. Today we're going to be getting into how do you view yourself versus how others view you. Now, if you hear the AC in the background, which I'm sure you can't hear because I found an app that removes the sound, but I don't know how long it's going to last. I'm on a trial period, okay? But it did wonders for the other videos, so hopefully it does the same for this video. If it doesn't, I apologize. But yeah, we're gonna get into the energy of how do you view yourself versus how others view you. I thought this was a very interesting topic. I wanted to find something that was gonna get me excited to do a reading because I'm tired, which is nothing new these days. I don't know what is it about the last few weeks that I haven't been like getting, enough sleep, I guess, or just sleeping well in general. Okay. So I guess we're starting off with how do you view yourself? How do my group ones view themselves, please, Spirit? How do my group ones view themselves? Okay. How do others view them? Okay. How do others view my group ones? Cool. Keep those. I'm going to get some of these cards. Okay, let's get into how my group ones view themselves. Please, Spirit, my group ones. How do they view themselves? How do my group ones view themselves? How do they view themselves? We have 3 cards. Interesting. Okay, now how do others view them? I'm excited. How do others view my group ones, please, Spirit? How do others view them? Interesting. There is a dichotomy here. You view yourself in a somewhat negative light, group ones. Not negative, but you see yourself as maybe damaged or troubled or having gone through a lot, and maybe you think it like shows in what you do and how you move in the world, but I don't think it shows as much as you think it does. Let's get into it. First of all, let's get into how I was feeling when I was shuffling the cards, asking Spirit to tap me into your energy. For group 1, I was seeing the justice card in my mind's eye, and I was hearing fair and just and balanced. So maybe that's how you view yourself or how others view you. But let's get into it. The cards that came out for you guys is the Hanged Witch, the Patient Witch. We have the Knight of Cups, and we have the Fool. Interesting. So maybe you don't view yourself in such a bad light after all. These crow cards kind of gave me a bad rep. Let me stop. Okay. So you see yourself as a hopeless romantic. You definitely see yourself as someone who is reserved, okay? Who is someone who likes to hang back and watch others do things. Maybe there's a part of you who thinks you like to watch others live the life you want to live. That could be something coming through for you guys. You are the observer. Okay, I'm hearing the eternal bachelor or bachelorette. You're never going to find love even though you crave it so desperately or deeply is what I'm hearing. Let's not use the word desperate, okay? I don't like that word. We're not desperate for nothing, okay? So we have the Hangman here, which is very much Pisces energy, I believe it is. It's not Cancer. No, it's Pisces. And Pisces is the ruler of the 12th house. So there is something here about you having hang-ups, things that you feel like plague you daily, things that you think about quite often. And I do believe of course you would view yourself differently as everyone else because no one truly knows what you've been through besides you. But I think there's some 12th house darkness here in how you view yourself, where you don't really see what's actually there, how people actually view you. There's like a misinterpretation, right? So you see yourself in this dark, maybe damaged or traumatic light. You've been through some things, because as we see here in the crow, we have grief. The crow oracle, we have grief. Then we have survival. And then we have memory. So it's like you can't forget where you come from, what you have to do to get where you are. And that's very understandable, okay? Coming from someone who's been through some things as well. I feel like as a human race, we all have been through things, okay? Not to invalidate what you've been through in any kind of way, but it's like we being with ourselves our whole lives don't tend to see ourselves from the viewpoint of people who don't know everything about us. So there's like some darkness to you, but there's also something here about illusions where you don't see yourself as you actually are. Okay, there's something here about not the wool being pulled over your eyes, but people see you in a very different light than how you view yourself, okay? You do see yourself as someone who is quite adventurous. You're willing to try anything once. The fool's an energy of getting up every day, putting on your best hat, putting your best foot forward, and moving along despite what you may have been through, okay? The fool is also Aries energy in my book, and Aries are very bold, okay? They could be a bit dramatic. They're very feisty, somewhat aggressive, okay? But they are the war hardened, I wanted to say criminals, not criminals. They are the war hardened soldier, okay? They have been through war, they've been through hell and back, and it's going to show up in everything they do, because there's some PTSD here. So you can have that whether you've actually been to war or not. There's something here about you going through a lot in life, and you feel like it's like um an oil stain, like a stamp that can't be removed. But from what I'm seeing on this side already, people do not see you in the light you view yourself. Okay, they're not seeing this darkness. They're not seeing this damage that you may view yourself as. Okay, so we have the Knight of Cups here, and that being the transitional energy from the Hangman to the Cozy Witch, which is the Fool card. I do feel like you are someone who used to watch life pass you by. Something may have happened, and then you started romanticizing your life. So you see yourself as, like I said, someone who's always looking for love, someone who's always craving love, wanting to be in love, loving to see people in love, watching romance movies, reading romance books. That kind of stuff is coming through. The idealist, okay? You want to see how things as they could be, not how they actually are. So there could be some escapism coming through here, which is why you watch like the movies and you read the romance books to kind of escape from the dreary existence, and not to be all, bleak about it. But there's something here about you using escapism, and that is very much 12th house energy, which is very much hangman energy. Now, in this card here, it says learn to get comfortable with sitting still whenever necessary, okay? You could have a problem with sitting still, or you love to sit still more than anyone. There could be something here about you thinking you're lazy, and I think that's like a preconceived notion that we grew up believing, because if you grew up in any kind of household that was toxic, or I like to call it POC, people of color, whether it's Middle Eastern, whether it's Indian, whether it's Caribbean, whether it's Asian, like as long as you're not white, is the what I'm trying to say basically. When you sit around and do nothing, people tend to call you lazy in that household. Growing up in a Caribbean household myself, you just existing and not doing anything or trying to please anyone or overextend yourself is you being called lazy, right? And it could be from, like I said, the trauma you grew up around. Because when you are in a certain household, it doesn't even have to be like physically oppressive. If it was emotionally oppressive, you could have been dealing with depression, and it showed up in the form of you not wanting to do anything, not wanting to be anywhere, keeping to yourself in your room, in your little cave, and being a little bit like a very much introverted kind of person. And your family took it as you being lazy, not wanting to do anything. And they didn't understand that it's a mental health issue that was, a result of the household you grew up in, right? So they're sitting here adding, fuel to the fire. How you already view yourself and not the best light, they're adding more fuel to the fire by calling you lazy or this or that. You know what I mean? That's the kind of vibe that's coming through. I'm getting some PTSD here. Okay, so we got interrupted for a second there. But yeah, there's something here about I forgot where I left off. But maybe you being like a more reserved or laid back person or an observant person, because anytime you may have expressed yourself, when you were younger, you were like talked down for it or something like that. But like I said, that feeling of having, I feel like there's like a feeling of oppression here for you guys, and it has followed you into your adulthood. But based on how other people view you, they don't see you in the same light you view yourselves, which I feel like is abundantly clear. I'm gonna stop saying it. But with this memory and survival, but mostly the memory, you can be a very nostalgic person. I'm getting that you are an old soul, or you view yourself as an old soul, so you may love the 90s, the early 2000s, the 80s, the 70s, the 60s. Maybe you feel like you should have been born more in that time. You resonate more with that music, that pop culture period, that kind of thing. The culture that was going on, that kind of energy, the clothes, the customs, the music, that kind of stuff. So you consider yourself an old soul, or even though you may not have wanted to be around during that time, you do just enjoy the music from those time periods, okay? And I don't know, there's something here about you like being not only nostalgic but can't get out of the past. You're always bringing up things from the past. You always find yourself, and that's PTSD right there. Yeah. So there could have been something that happened in your childhood or your developmental years or your early adulthood that kind of gave you some PTSD. I'm hearing somebody could have cheated on you. Maybe some of you are actually in the army. Like I was talking about family instances. Whenever you showed a part of who you truly were, you like got reprimanded for it or belittled for it. So you kind of just learned to hide who you were and observe. And that's how you became an observer in your own life. You became like a secondary character. Not even. You became like a, yeah, just a passerby in your own life, and you were watching everyone else live their life, which is why you learn to romanticize everything else in your life, because you never gave yourself a chance to actually live it. Or maybe, and I feel like you are now though, right? So that's coming through. But yeah, the memory is definitely giving a vibe of you remember things. Any little thing someone did to you, you would be able to bring it up right now. You may like receipts, you like to take screenshots, and you're that kind of person, okay, maybe a little very analytical, or you like receipts. That's it. Okay? But like I said, you went from this person who was more reserved to this person who's like now trying to live life to the fullest, right? I love that for you guys. That's how you view yourself, okay? The Knight of Cups says romanticize the present moment every chance you get. That's what you've been learning to do, honestly, guys. So I'm very proud of you if no one has told you that recently. Now we have survival. You're no longer living in survival mode. You're thriving mode. Okay, you're in thriving mode. Sorry. I'm talking weird today. I don't know why. And then last but not least, we have this grief with the cozy witch. Okay. So you've decided to start living life. You see yourself as someone who wants to live life to the fullest. You're done being sad, right? You're done letting this grief take over your life. You're done letting what people said to you in the past or what people may have done to you in the past rule your life. And that's how you are viewing yourself. Okay, you're learning to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. I think there was more that was coming through, but I don't want to spend too much time on how you view yourself. There is something here about you being a diamond in the rough. There could be something here about you growing up in the city, so maybe you seem like you're a rough and tough kind of person. Oh, there was a song that was coming through for you guys. Memory I don't mess with. So I think there could have been a significant breakup or situationship in your past that kind of like shaped who you were. Um, Yeah, I keep hearing damaged goods. Please, guys, I don't like this energy. Don't think of yourself like this. You're so little. And even if you don't think of yourself like this, there's something here about a limiting belief holding you back, right? But like I said, you're getting out of the energy, so let me not keep bringing it up. But yeah, Memory I Don't Mess With by Lee Bryce is coming through. Okay? I'm hearing maybe you think your best years are behind you or your best relationships are behind you, because that song is about Lee Bryce basically singing about a love he lost and how he doesn't like to think about that love because it's gone and it's a memory he doesn't want to mess with. He doesn't want to keep going back there and maybe thinking about what if, what could have been better, what if we were still together now. He's kind of like, I'm leaving things as they are, where we left them, essentially, right? So there was a significant relationship that shaped you that could have led to you thinking you're damaged goods. I don't know. Could have led to you trying to escape into something. But that's besides the point, right? I'm just getting into how that may have shaped how you view yourself, right? But those cards in the crow were very ghetto. Let's get some cards from here really quickly to see how you view yourself. I don't know why they outside making all this blasted noise if they don't did. Okay, we have Tiger's Eye. Yeah, you protect yourself and your energy. Tiger's Eye is overcome your fears. You are overcoming your fears. That's how you view yourself, as someone who overcame their fears. And we have Turquoise. Prioritize your health. You could also be someone who is now very health conscious. I didn't want to say Virgo for you guys with the whole analytical and never forgetting anything and, you know, keeping receipts and that kind of thing. Maybe you're a bit of a hoarder as well. You see yourself as a hoarder. You hoard onto emotions, memories, feelings, things that like don't serve you, which leads you to be in that very um untethered 12th house energy, right? But anyway, you're not just that. I don't want to keep focusing on that. You're also the fool, right? And the fool is someone who is very innocent, someone who is thirsty, you know, to experience life, who craves new experiences. That's how you view yourself, very adventurous. You want to try everything at least once, you know? You want to travel the world, right? There could be something here about you playing dress up and you love getting dressed up and looking cute and you're like a little bit of a fashionista and that kind of thing, you know? One more card for how my group ones view themselves, please, Spirit. How do they view themselves? I swear I've seen other readers do like 3, 4 piles in like 50 something minutes. So I'm like, how? Here we have Pyrite. Let the money flow in. You see yourself as very abundant. But also, Pyrite is also called fool's gold, so imitation gold. You could see yourself as like I said, there's something here about imposter syndrome. There could be something here about maybe your skin is, I don't want to say damaged, but like you can have like blemishes on your skin. You know, it could be dark spots, it could be rashes, it could be eczema, it could be vitiligo, it could be a bunch of the psoriasis. That stuff is coming through. That could be something that that ties into how you view yourself. But pyrite, even though it does represent money, it is like supposed to be imitation fool's gold, so not real gold. So you think yourself as, you know, close enough to the real thing, but not the real thing. So knockoff. Maybe you buy a lot of knockoffs. That could be something coming through. But let me keep going. We're gonna get into how others view you now. I'm excited. This is the first card that came out for you guys, the Three of Cups. So you're a good time, okay? We have the Queen of Pentacles. You're also very abundant. That's something you and other people, how you view yourself and how others view you have in common, okay? Let me not confuse myself. And we have strength. So I love how we had grief come through in survival, and we have that acknowledgement here with the strength card. People are acknowledging all the things that you've been through and considering you or seeing you as someone who is very strong, okay? So Three of Cups is a very playful, a very friendly, very, I'm hearing frivolities kind of energy. It's kind of like a butterfly who is always going from flower to flower, doesn't stay one place long. It's kind of like a I don't want to say wandering soul. It's not really giving me wandering soul. You give me someone who just likes flitting about the room, talking to different people, having different experiences. It could be in the same environment or it could be in different countries, different cities, but I'm not getting a wanderer. There is a sense of you liking, you have your creature comforts here in this reading. So it's not giving me someone who just throw away everything and walk around with one bag and wander the whole world. You're not giving me that vibe. But you know, traveler, I guess we could say, right? Someone who travels around the room, talks to everyone, is taking shots with this person, who can fit into all kinds of demographics or social circles, right? So you can fit in with the geeks, the nerds, the band nerds, the chorus people, the musical theater people, the cheerleaders, the popular kids. Like you are able to fit in. I'm hearing get in where you fit in. So you're able to get in and fit in lots of different spaces and places. So you may have like a very diverse group of friends, excuse me, culturally or ethnically. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, is that the proper pretense of the word in this case? Ethnically, no. Ethnically, yeah. Confusing myself, child. Anyway, but the Three of Cups says, "Come together with your coven." They did not take off the light again. I'm going to beat them up. Anyway, Come together with your coven. Because Edison is working outside and they just keep touching things that cuts off the light. And I'm like, what is the problem? Don't piss me off. Anyway, come together with your coven. There's something here about you being a really good friend, okay? Whenever you're around, the vibe is high. Everyone's cruising, everyone's drinking, everyone's having a really good time. They feel very comfortable. They feel like you're an instant friend. So you can make friends wherever you go. You know, you're very good at associating and talking to or with people. Here we go. Then we have the Queen of Pentacles. The Witch is in. This is kind of giving me psychiatrist vibes. So maybe you're the person that everyone comes to when they need like some kind of help or guidance. The Queen of Pentacles is a mother archetype in the deck. We have like the Empress energy where she's like a very attractive person who is like the mother to all, but the Queen of Pentacles is like the mother. She is the person who you know has a family. She takes care of her people. She works 2 jobs. A single mom who works 2 jobs, who loves her kids and never stops, with gentle hands and the heart of a fighter. I'm a survivor. I am done. Not Reba coming through. Reba's coming through for y'all, child. So you're a single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops. The Empress could never be a single mother because she has her emperor there riding for her every single time. Whatever she needs, she attracts. The Queen of Pentacles is the same way. She has her King of Pentacles there, but she is someone who can provide for herself at the end of the day if she needed to, right? She is a person who is has her own business, okay? She's very literate. She reads a lot, very smart, very intelligent. She has like a lot of like kernels of wisdom is coming through as well. And it says there's no need to sacrifice, you can have it all. So you're definitely someone who is seen as a survivor, even though you may have come from not so great, you know, beginnings, right? Humble beginnings. You may have come from humble beginnings. People are like, you've made something of yourself. So you're seeing yourself as this survivor, and people are acknowledging that and how they view you, which I love. You're also kind of giving me an energy of like having healing hands. So the fact that we have the doctor is in, you're giving doctor vibes, okay? So people come to you with their sicknesses, with their ailments, with their problems. You kind of always have a solution. You're a natural problem solver, okay? You could also be someone who works well with plants and animals because the way she's holding the cutest little bunny here. Look at the bunny, so small. She's holding the bunny and kind of going to take her bunny to the doctor. So you're definitely someone who cares very deeply for people, whether you consider yourself that kind of person or not. That's how people are viewing you. Okay. Now we have the strength card. It takes great strength to be soft. So, like I said, there's something here about you no longer being just a watcher, a passerby in your own life. You're now actively trying to be the main character because we see you here as someone who is strong but can also be soft. And that is mixing in with all of these energies. You take care of your friends, you care for people, okay? You heal people. You're seen as a healer. That's how people view you. And then you're also seen as someone who, despite what you've been through, can still show up and be strong for people, okay? And you can even be stronger for yourself because you took yourself out of some kind of funk. You get up every day and still do what needs to be done, right? Um you're still functioning because right now a lot is going on. School's getting out and there's a lot of noise outside and I'm trying to push through this reading. So I'm like, I gotta do what I gotta do, right? And that's you. And that's how people view you, honestly. Now we have those cards, we're gonna put them up here. But you are someone who's very soft and caring and nurturing. You care about people, you love to help and heal people, right? There's a softness to your energy or an instant comfortability to your energy. Now the next card we have here is luck from the Crow Oracle. We have distraction. Very interesting. People could use you as a distraction from their life. That's a 3 of Cups. Someone who, when you need to have a good time and get out of your head, they're the person you're going to with this 3 of Cups energy coming through here. So you are representing a distraction to other people. So they just be careful for users and abusers. And they took it off again. If Madison will stop playing with this power now, look at all the struggles I'm going through in this one reading alone. I have never in my life. Please, okay. I'm gonna keep going though, right? Because we're survivors. But yeah, there's something here about you being the distraction to other people when their life is going horribly wrong. They can come to you and they know that you're gonna, get them out of their head and help them, distract them from what's going on in their life or give them advice on how to fix what's going on in their life. Okay, so you're the therapist friend, guys. Here we also have displacement. Okay, you're just giving a stray magnet. Is what I just heard. You're a magnet for people who have nowhere else to go, who are lost, right? I'm hearing poor, unfortunate souls with no one else to turn to. Ursula gives me life each and every time she comes through these readings. I love her. I love her. I love her. She is my spirit animal, Ursula. Oh, yes. Take away the part where she was. I mean, in her own way, she was trying to heal people. Okay, let's not too much on Ursula. Okay, she was trying to heal people in her own special way. She was just a little bit jaded from always being picked on. Now, I don't know the backstory for Ursula because they keep changing it, I've heard. So, one thing about it is she tried to be a part of Atlantis and they rejected her. Another story is she is King Triton's sister and he usurped the throne from a strong, black, thick woman. Let me stop. Because we know she's black. Don't play that now, okay? He stole the throne from her, even though she was the eldest sister and she was supposed to inhabit the throne. He thieved it from her, and anybody would be bitter at that. That's the PTSD talking to her. She just unhealed, okay? But she was a sea witch, and she did help others get their wildest dreams. There were conditions. They were not good conditions. Nobody's saying she's not evil, but we can totally understand where she came from. And even so, sis was the best time. You cannot tell me her part of the movie is not the best part of the movie. I can't. You're not gonna lie to me. Yes, we love the falling in love. Yes, we love Ariel. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, we love Sebastian. Da, da, da. But my favorite part of the movie is when she comes and we first meet her, and she's trying to convince Ariel to give her her voice. I'm just like, yes, Ursula. She is the moment. Okay, she is the witch. She is the person who can convince you to do anything. That's the kind of person coming through. And I love how the last card for you guys here is mischief. That makes the utmost sense for what was coming through in your reading thus far. Okay, everything that's been coming through. You are mischievous. You are fun. You are playful. You're a little bubbly. You're strong yet soft. You're fierce yet feminine. Okay, you're a warrior. You're a soldier. You've been through things. You've been through the war. And you've come out on the other side, and you still fight, and you still fight, and you still. It's a word that was trying to come through. You fight and you persevere. That's the word. Thank you. You fight and you persevere and you still make people around you feel comfortable. You still laugh. You still have a good time. Like you're giving me games and trivia, and that's what people see you as a person that to just escape life with. Um, yeah, I'm hearing Escapism by Ray as well. So that song is coming through for you guys. I'm hearing Doctor, doctor, anything please. Doctor, doctor, have mercy on me. Take this pain away. You're asking me my symptoms, doctor. I don't want to feel like it's as simple as that. And you're the person that they come to when they don't want to feel. That's how people view you in the smallest sense of the word, because we're not going to get too many cards and make this reading too long now, okay? So that's what's coming through for you guys. You're a bit of a healer. You're a prayer, an answered prayer for many people as well, right? Queen of Pentacles is definitely someone you can rely on. Someone who got their bag made and ready. You're definitely the something of your own life. The author of your own life, the leader of your own life. You're like there's many not responsibilities. Not the word I was trying to come through. There's many things you've accomplished. You're an accomplished person. It's how people see you, okay? Very regal, very mature. You could dress well, that kind of thing. You think of other people. You're kind of like the mother of your friend group, that kind of thing. You make sure everyone is all right. You cook the meals if they're going through something. You're coming over with your suitcase and moving in for a little bit until they're better or healed or happy again. That kind of energy is coming through. People come to you broken and you kind of heal them and make them brand new again, okay? That's what I'm getting for you guys. Let us see what cards are coming through here. And I know them kids are acting a fool. I wish they would just go home immediately after release. Immediately. Let me stop. Here we have apophyllite, stay positive. That's how people view you as well as someone who stays positive. We have bloodstone. We have get up and get moving. Yeah, you don't sit down for long. You're a very active person, whether it's in your life or just but every time somebody sees you, you're on to the next adventure, doing something new, opening up a new business. It's the kind of vibe that's coming through for you guys. Can I get one more card for how others view them, please? I keep looking at the people's hair in the deck, so there's something here about your hair as well. You can have really nice hair. There's curly hair, there's wavy hair, there's long hair, there's short hair, all kinds of hair colors and textures are coming through. So it's just your hair in general. Here we have rhodochrosite, and it's funny how I thought this card right here was rhodochrosite, and I swear I was going to say it so confidently until I said, wait, that's bloodstone. So it came out, love it to see it, and it says remember your worth. So you are definitely someone who remembers your worth. Nobody's going to be able to play in your face, okay? We have luck coming through. The person's always dressed to the nines, right? You're it's kind of like giving me the rich socialite mother, right, who has all her friends, has her nice house, goes to all the functions, has her little boys on the side, not being tied down by nobody. You are the moment. I just keep hearing that. You are the moment. That's how others view you. And the fact that Canadian has not put back on this power right now is pissing me off. Okay? It's too hot for this. I need some air. Shucks. But anyway. And I am feeling like you're the kind of person who takes and gives as you see fit. That's the vibe I'm getting here because the air was on when I first started, okay? And then it went away. And look, it came back on. Then it comes back on. And then it goes away. And it's kind of like, wait, I need you. Like the way we need air to breathe, right? People are like, excuse me, like, can you come back here? You're kind of like, no, I don't want to really be around you right now. So the kind of energy when you're not around people is like they can't breathe, or you took away the AC in the hot weather, or you know that kind of me. You're like the drought after the famine kind of energy. That's how people view you, okay? Versus how you view yourself. So you see yourself as one thing, and this is how they view you. Now I'm gonna end your reading right here. I hope it resonates. If it did, I just saw 2244. If it did resonate, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the tribe. It really helps the channel if you want to help me at all. You don't have to if you don't want to. Um, but yeah, commenting and liking and sharing and all that kind of stuff helps the channel. But yeah, I hope it resonated. If it did, like, comment, subscribe, join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you ever like to book a personal reading with me, you could always get in contact with me using my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group twos. Welcome to your reading. If you chose thumbnail image 2 or however you made your way here, welcome. Thank you for joining me here. Today we're going to be getting into how do you view yourself versus how others view you. This is a cute topic. I'm excited to get into it. If you hear the AC in the background, I apologize. I think I found an app that lets me remove it, to the best of my and the app's ability. So hopefully you don't hear it, but let's get into the reading. How do you view yourself versus how others view you? Now, when I was asking Spirit to tap me into the energy of your reading, I had my eyes closed and I was like leaning back in the chair, and I saw like a flash of like peacock feathers. Now, I don't know the significance behind peacock feathers, okay? I'm sure I could look it up, but I know peacocks have to do with like pride and, carrying yourself in a specific way. And let me look it up. Okay, so I got interrupted and the Wi-Fi is not working since Connecticut is here, or they were here, turning on and off the power. So I'm waiting for the computer to boot back up. I've been waiting for like 5 minutes now. I don't have the patience. So when I was waiting, I heard something about Imperial China. So, and then I heard like dynasties. Like, can be something here about you that's like giving royalty, okay, or rich, or something like that. But since we're doing a how do you view yourself versus how others view you, we're not going to be sure which side that's going to come out on until we get the cards out. So please, Spirit, can I get some cards for my group twos, please? How do they view themselves? Wow, all the cards flew right out. I believe you have a high image of yourself. Can I get a card for how others view them, please? How do others view my group twos? Please, Spirit, how do others view them? How do others view them? Okay. Put those over here. And then get some cards from here. How do they view themselves? So I'm feeling like a very regal. Ooh, I heard a stoop. The cards are flying out. Group 2, please. How do they view themselves? These are way too many. Nope, nope, nope. I just need 1 or 2 more, please. How do they view themselves? You're getting way more cards than group 1 did. Group 2, how do others view them? How do others view them? Okay. I heard one more. Okay, come on now. We're going to be here forever. This is what happens when I try to do a short reading. It never turns out the way I need it to. Now give me 2 more. Wow. Whatever, I guess. Okay, so how do you view yourselves? Let's get into it. You have the Queen of Cups, so this is giving me soft life immediately. Immediately. Soft life. You're giving that soft life, soft girl, soft feminine, everything goes my way. Like, what? Treat myself. You know what I mean? That kind of energy. Soft life. I'm hearing hard wig, soft life. Oh. So some of you could have a hard wig, okay? Or you just follow that philosophy, okay? Where it's basically how if black women were to get a hard wig, that's when they attract the rich, older, like white guys. So if they walk around with a hard wig, they get to have a soft life because they have a husband that has money, okay? That doesn't resonate for everybody, nor does it happen with everyone, okay? Some people have nice wigs and nice lives. But let's get into the reading. We have strength, strong. I'm getting a what's her name? Lynn Whitfield vibe from you guys for how you view yourselves. She was always the rich mother in any, well, besides a few parts she played when she was younger. But in every show that I've seen her in, she's always been the rich auntie or the rich mother, okay, the rich grandmother, whatever. So that's the kind of vibe coming through. A little bit ruthless. You could see yourself as ruthless. I'm getting her character from Medea's family reunion. Okay, I'm not saying you're evil because that character was quite evil. Okay, I could never say she was misunderstood. She knew what she was doing. She put her child up for slaughter of the arms of a nasty man, just so her and her youngest child could have a soft life. Very disgusting behavior. But you're giving me that character of always dressing in the best. Okay, I see myself in like a very high lights. Okay, I am the prize kind of energy coming through here. I have a nice house. I by the ocean. I sit and read my book every morning and sip my tea. And I don't gotta worry about Nathan. Okay, that's coming through for you guys. So we have Nine of Wands, which is kind of like a ruthless, persevering energy. If we're being, honest here. So let me bring these back, and we'll just go through them one by one. So Queen of Cups says honoring your emotions is one of the highest forms of self-care. Okay, so you're the self-queer, not queer, some of you here can be queer. You are the self-care queen. Okay, you are definitely the person who's taking care of themselves. Okay, you could be someone who loves the sea, who loves the ocean, who loves water, who loves baths, right? I'm getting someone who walks around in their silk bathrobe. I'm also seeing Jemima or Jemima, her name was Jemima from YouTube. She's a plus size girly who always has a different robe in her videos. She's like a lifestyle girly who she tries on like plus size clothing from all the different brands, and tells her community whether it would work for them or what's good or what's the quality, the what's what on the town. So you're like very big on lifestyle, getting your nails done. I'm hearing drinking matcha. That's rich activities because matcha is not cheap. Okay. Um Your nails are always done, okay, French pedicured, right? Your hair is always slicked back. Your makeup is always perfect, okay? That's like the vibe that's coming through for y'all hardcore. But she's always walking around, like, before she tries on the clothes, she has her, like, silk robe on. And I'm like, yes, Jemima, I'm trying to be like you one day, okay? I'm trying to get like you, my boy, okay? That's the vibe. That's coming through for you guys. And this is how you see yourselves. We love it. Okay, I love it here already. And then the next card we have is Seven of Cups. Yeah, you have options. You have your pick of the litter. Whatever you want, you get. I see it. I like it. I want it. I got it. Right. That's when it comes to men. That's when it comes to your homes. That's when it comes to your vacations. What do you work? What do you do? All those kinds of things. Very privileged upbringing, which is why I was kind of like getting peacock. You have a lot of pride in yourself and your routines and what you've accomplished for yourself. You know what I mean? And then I think because I couldn't find a clarification because the internet is down, Spirit is like, just think Imperial Dynasty. Chinese people are very proud. They're very traditional. They believe in certain things and they have like a lot of traditions. The one thing about them, they love luck and abundance, and they're always finding ways to make that more. They have, is Feng Shui Chinese or Japanese? I think it's Chinese, but there's different things they come up with to make sure they're living the most luxurious life as possible. Okay, and one thing about Chinese people, they're about their money. They're about their money. Like, I want to say all Asian people, but Chinese people are becoming to America and hustling. Okay, it just irks me now that in New York City, whenever you want like a good Chinese food, you have to always have cash. They said we deal in cash, motor. We're not talking about no card and all that kind of stuff. No, we're keeping it old fashioned around here, these parts. You want to see that money, cash money. Okay, okay. That's coming through for y'all. But yeah, wherever they go with the nail salons, they're always giving you a deal. They know how to build relationships and make friends and build community. One thing about them, they have each other's backs. Like, I love that. That can be you as well. Okay, you take care of your community. You give back. You're very charitable. Okay, but yeah, very big vibes here. The Seven of Cups. Yeah, the pick of the litter. The Seven of Cups says, not every great option you are given will be a great option for you. Okay. So you kind of know what you deserve. And even though you have the pick of the litter, you know what you like and what you don't like, okay? I'm hearing you can have whatever you like. And then I'm also hearing lucky for you, that's what I like. So whatever you like by T.I., and then that's what I like, right? Lucky for you, that's what I like. Yeah, that's what I like by Bruno Mars, okay? So you're very particular about the things you like. You're definitely giving a Paris Hilton vibe as well. You're a hotelier or an heiress, right? Came from money, grew up in money, built your own money. Now you have like a nice family. You always have like those big expensive bags and houses and things for your dog. So you're pampered, your animals are pampered, that kind of thing. There's also this lady on social media. She has like two pit bulls, excuse me, and she like makes videos of her pampering those pit bulls down, cooking them gourmet meals, giving them luxurious baths, heating the towels for when they come out the shower, patting them down, giving them spa level treatment up in her house. She's like, if I got it, y'all got it too. I got it made. Is the vibe coming through for y'all, okay? So strength card is, it takes strength to be soft. It takes great strength to be soft. So you are definitely someone who is soft. And this, I love how I keep using soft life. And that's kind of like what's coming through for you guys. Sorry, I got a package delivered. Look at that. You're always ordering packages. Your package is always delivered. And it's funny how I'm filming this reading today, and during your reading, my package was delivered. My notification came through because I haven't ordered something in a minute, guys. I stopped my shopping spree ways a long time, but I needed some things, and I ordered some things, and they just notified me that they came, and I'm like, okay, per. And I'm like, that's. I love how it's coming through in your reading. Okay, in particular. So definitely shopping vibes. You love to get the newest things. You pamper your animals, right? Your house is always looking good. There's flowers, there's drapes. It's giving interior design, right? You just had a vision and you kind of executed it perfectly for what you wanted your house to look like. Okay, I'm getting crystal glasses. So you see yourself as someone who's very luxurious. That's your shot. Period. And the last card we have here is Nine of Wands. So very ambitious. Okay, you don't give up very easily. You kind of like to get what you want. Not kind of, you do like to get what you want. And it says it would take a hell of a lot more to defeat you. Absolutely. I second that. Okay? And look, as soon as I say that, we have battle. So you're definitely ready to go to bat for yourself and people around you, okay? You don't give up. You don't back down. You're not scared of anyone or anything. And that with the strength card makes you like a very intimidating kind of person. So you see yourself as very intimidating. Here we have release as well. Stop putting those over here. We have release. And that's kind of giving me releasing outdated beliefs, limiting beliefs, things that don't serve you, that kind of mentality. Okay. Releasing negative energies, naysayers, people who tell you can't do this, you're doing too much, you're too ego driven, you're too this, you think you're all that kind of stuff. Just negative vibes are coming through, right? When you're in this energy of knowing you're the ish, okay, I'm hearing Kashadi you a 10, hey, a 10 by the dream. When you know you're that person, you're that girl, people would try to make you think you're less than and say, oh, you think you're all that, da da da, da, and is, and am and will always forever will be. Okay, thank you. They want you to be humble. You're not humble. You're the opposite of humble, right? And that came through immediately with the peacock feathers. Okay, I'm hearing and how he primps and preens and dresses like the pits of fashion. Meanwhile, our poorest citizens are farmers, live ration to ration, while he trades them for chips to something whatever. It's a song from Hamilton. Basically, when Hamilton, you know, discovers or makes the first national bank and gets into like not even trading, but lending and what is it called, credit and stuff like that. He starts dressing all high and mighty, hoity-toity kind of energy because he came from nothing. Now that he has money, he's gonna start dressing like he has money now. And Jefferson's kind of making fun of him and talking about the farmers in the South are living this kind of way. And I'm like, we don't feel too bad for them now because they working my ancestors to the bone. Like they have slaves. Y'all want us to feel sorry for them. They're living ration to ration, while Wall Street trades them for something chips to cash in. Like, we don't feel bad for you, Jefferson. I'm sorry to say, because no, no. But anyway, that's the vibe that's coming through. You're the Hamilton, and everybody else is mad at you. Okay. Here we have waterproof. I've never gotten this card. This is very interesting. Waterproof. Things just run off you very easily. This is that whole persevering, battle worn, not battle worn, but you know how when you have like a waterproof coat, the water just slides off of it, you know? So you're not getting soaking wet. Everything just slides right off of you. That's that resilient is the word I was looking for. Thank you. Okay, you're very resilient. You see yourself as resilient. And always willing to fight, child. Because look at this. They're really in a battle. Like, what is going on here? You're always ready to fight and stick up for yourself. And the last freaking card here, we have influence, which makes a lot of sense. Okay, you do have influence. You are someone who could be an influencer, who people watch you and want to do what you want to do, act how you want to act, that kind of thing. You know, makes sense. You're living a lavish lifestyle, you guys, and everybody watches you and wants to live the life like you live the life. Honestly, is what's coming through here for you guys. But it's like hard work and determination that got you here. It wasn't handed to you, which is something that you may have to make people clear on sometimes. Like I fought for this influence. It wasn't just handed to me. Okay, you better recognize. I love this waterproof image though. So you're giving soft girl, soft life, hard wig, soft life, whatever you want to call it, is the energy coming through for you guys. Now we're going to see how other people view you. I've already seen the moon, so they see you as very secretive. We have the Judgment for the first card. We have the Four of Wands. We have the Four of Swords. So people do see you as someone who's very relaxed, okay? Someone who's very stable, someone who's very balanced, someone they want to celebrate. So you are coming through as like, it's giving me how an influencer, how, or whatever you want to call it, content creator, whatever, the people on social media doing things, how people comment and like shower you with compliments and views and likes and support. That's the vibe that's coming through here with this Four of Wands. It's like a sense of community you built around you. This Four of Swords is also kind of giving me a soft life. You're at home chilling. You don't have a regular job because you've made money off something that you don't really have to put much effort into, or it doesn't have to do with a 9 to 5. So some days you can work tirelessly, making content, doing this, doing that, and then you can have like a week of doing nothing. Where other people don't really have that, luxury because they gotta work 9 to 5 every day. Okay. Now we also have the moon and we have the page of wands. So with all these roses, you're definitely coming through as a half glass full kind of person, optimist. Okay. The page of wands says just because you're passionate about it doesn't make it effortless. So people know you put in effort to whatever you do. The nine of wands coming through for how you view yourself, and this coming through for how others view you, is kind of giving me the same thing, same font. You know what I mean? Or same thing, different font, if you will. A page of wands is someone who knows going after what they want is not going to be effortless, but they still do it anyway. And they reap the benefits from it, from that drive to be better, to want more, to get more, you know? And then we have the moon, which says take time for deep self reflection, or taking time for deep self reflection is essential. That's the energy coming through here. Maybe sometimes you kind of go off grid. You are definitely giving me someone who likes their baths, okay? Someone who goes off the grid, doesn't really talk to anyone, doesn't, reach out. They just spend some time with themselves, getting to know themselves, grounding, maybe going to a spa, going to a retreat kind of thing, and then coming back refreshed, okay? Because, yeah, we have this Four of Swords. You love taking naps or breaks, is the vibe that's coming through for you guys, okay? We also have the Judgment card, and the Judgment card is the first card I placed down, but it took me a second to get to it. Um, there's something here about you like being life changing or a wake up call to other people. That's because you're coming through. I mean, the Judgment card is coming through for how others view you. So you're giving them like a wake up call. Like they're living this beautiful life. I want to live that same life. If they can do it, so can I, right? You're giving me like, I don't want to say an everyday woman. You're giving me like a career woman. Someone who's built their legacy and their money up from scratch. And not everybody kind of wants a piece of them, you know? That's coming through. But Judgment says all the signs say that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Boom. That's the mic drop right there. Everyone thinks you're exactly where you're supposed to be. You took the right path. I wanted to say the right path and the road less traveled at the same time, but I can't do that. I'm not an alien or a robot. Okay, maybe some people think of you as like an alien or a robot because you're someone who, like I said, took the path less chosen, less traveled, and you did your big one, right? With that road, and now you're living the life out of fairy tales or out of dreams, you know? I'm hearing wet dreams, so you can feature in a lot of people's wet dreams as well. We have the Four of Wands. We kind of went over that. This is a sense of community, of structure, of balance, celebration. So you celebrate your people around you. Everyone celebrates you as well. Okay, it's giving, like I said, a content creator or a public figure who gets a lot of public praise. And everyone loves them, what they stand for, the platform they stand on, what they do with the platform, that kind of stuff. And I'm hearing, what's that man's name who's running for mayor of New York? Is it something Ramdiani or something like that? Moran Ramdiani, probably butchering his name, but I do believe he's a person of the people, and everyone. He's the only one that I have repeatedly seen people attacking. There's so like Andrew Cuomo has a smear campaign against him. There's another guy running for mayor, Whitney something wants to a smear campaign against him. There's another black guy running for mayor. He has a smear campaign against Moran Nambiani, and I'm like, what is y'all beef with him? Y'all giving him more press first of all, and I like him. Now me, I like him. Like Andrew Cuomo had his time. He had his scandal. We understand we want a Democrat in there better than anyone else. But I'm like, you know what? I might be ready. New York might be ready for a Moran Nambiani. Still can't pronounce that man's name. But he had like an interview on social media I saw, and I'm like, oh, that person, he seems like a very for the people kind of person, even though he has some kind of influence, he's still down to earth vibes. That's what you're coming through as. someone that's approachable, people can still talk to. You still have everyone else's problems. You're still a regular person. You're not that high or far from them. You have an achievable sense of accomplishments. You have an achievable set of accomplishments, something they could be able to do themselves. Okay? Attainable is the word I was looking for. Okay? That's coming through for y'all. Four of Swords is representing the same thing. Rest, like you're a rest, you're a very sleepy person. And it says, why aren't you resting? Maybe you work too hard and you don't sleep enough. And people are like, hey, get some rest. And you're kind of like, I don't wanna. Because you're always like working on the next thing. What's my next big break gonna be? I need more money. I need more this, more influence, more success. And it's like a non-stop train. That's coming through for you guys, okay? So I'm leaving on that midnight train to Georgia. Georgia could be important here. I don't know why that song is coming through, but it made me laugh. The moon is giving someone who's very mysterious, very contemplative, very emotional person, very deep person, as well as coming through for you guys. You have a depth about you that makes you like more relatable. So it's like someone who has all this money and can still feel and still talk to the smaller guy or the little guy, I think it's called, for example's sake, and who still like has life problems and is still relatable, but they have that sense of like awe. That's the vibe you're coming through as for how others view you. So you're still like, what's the word? I feel like I've said it like 5 times already. But you're still like you're giving me that. There was a specific archetype that I was reading about in the is it the Art of Seduction or something by Robert Greene, and he was like talking about JFK and how he was like, I think he was the mythic star or something like that, and it was like how he was like royalty. Like there's a lot of presidents who come and go who like they're presidents, they go in there and they just rule, not rule, but you know, they serve and then they leave and there's no big hoopla. But he went in there, his family was seen as American royalty. Everyone loved him. Everyone wanted a little piece of the pie he was selling, the perfect American dream, the wife, the career, that kind of thing. And there's like a just I could do that. If I wanted to be president, I could do that. I could be him one day. That makes him like so like magnetic. Or what's another word I can use? Not even only magnetic, who just makes this person so like bright. You're like, I can do that. Like, yes, this person has all this success and all this money and they're president of the United freaking States, but there's also a down to earth nature about them. And I feel like we got that same energy with Barack Obama. Like everyone still loves him, even after he left office. I do believe him and his family are another set of American royalty. Like nothing really bad happened during their rule. The kids are still kind of well behaved, you know, and that's like a legacy, right? So you have like a little bit of legacy, you're building a legacy where people are going to look back and think of you as someone who set the bar just high enough for everyone else to reach it without it being too obtainable or too easy, right? And that's like very, okay, that's cute or whatever. But yeah, with this moon card coming through here, very deep, feels things a lot, very secretive to yourself, reserved kind of energy. A journaler, right? It says making time for deep self-reflection is essential. And that's something you do quite often. You reflect on who you are, who you're becoming. You know, there's a lot of pride for what you've built, even in the spread for other people coming through. Because the Four of Wands is wanting to celebrate for someone, for what they built, for what they've done, right? Whether it's a marriage or a collaboration or just one person themselves. We're celebrating them for what they've accomplished, right? And the last card here, we have Page of Wands, which we went through already. But just because you're passionate about it doesn't mean it'll be effortless. People have seen you work hard to get what you want, so they know it wasn't easy. And that's something they admire even more about you. Now we have direction, the fact that you know where you want to go. People, they say you have a good sense of direction. You like to see things fulfilled, okay? Very interesting. I just got a clip of Arrow in my mind because I was watching it last night, but it was an episode with Barry Allen from The Flash. So it's kind of like how he was very determined, he was very smart, always he was like 10 steps ahead of them in the whole process, okay? And someone who does their homework, who knows a lot of things, who's gone to school, or is very smart and intelligent about certain things, who can help you out in ways you never imagined. It's how you're coming through, it's how others view you, okay? But you kind of maybe inspire them to do better. You give them a sense of where they want to go next. You have self-interest. You come through with someone who's very self-interested. Very interesting. I've never gotten this card. A lot of new cards coming through today, which I love. Self-interest. This is tying into that whole pride energy of you just focusing on you and yourself and your life. People do see you as that way. I'm giving they just get small little screenshots into your life. They don't get to see the full picture all the time. Now, the next card we have is At Night. And I love how we have this and the moon. Mysterious vibes coming through again. Mysterious, scary, spooky, whatever you want to call it. Dark energy to you. You can have a darker aesthetic or that's just the vibe you give off. It's like a cloud sometimes that comes in, casts darkness over your usual sunny demeanor, right? Here we have Illusion. People do think that they don't see the real you is what's coming through for you guys. They're like, I don't know if what I'm seeing is a real pile two or not. So sometimes they may seem like a little stumped as to who you really are. Because now I'm hearing that song by Lady Gaga. It was love, it was love, it was a perfect illusion, mistaken for love, it wasn't love. It was a perfect illusion. So people could think that you put them in a trance or the picture you portray is all an illusion. Okay. And the last card we have here is Commitment. Oh, how cute. How do others view you? As a perfect partner, a good partner, someone who would make a good partner, because this compared with the Four of Wands is definitely giving twin flame, marriage, commitment. I'm gonna devote my life to this person kind of energy. Um, that's coming through for you guys. Sharing, maybe you're like a very caring, giving, sharing person, or you always have their own. You always have your own, and your other person always has their own. But I see two crows. Like, are they sharing blueberries? Is he bringing one back for her? Is she bringing one back for him? I can't really tell who's a man and who's a woman. Are they laying the eggs? Hmm. You'd be a good partner. I think this person, wow, I think people would be proud to have you on their arm. You work well with others. Like you're good at team building exercises or just people putting their faith in you and you coming out on top every time whenever they put you in charge, you know? That's the vibe coming through for you guys. I'm also kind of getting a scene from Love Island where I think we were a little bit into the season, and I think Jaina was helping everyone cook dinner, and she was telling this person, "Do that, do this, do that," and then they all came together. The food wouldn't have been able to be made and taste as good as it did if it wasn't for her. Okay, this card is also kind of giving me equal give and take. So whatever someone brings to the table, you're also to give them as well. You're able to give them as well. Not also. You're also able to give them as well. If that makes more sense. But yeah, I think you make a good partner in crime, partner in life. Well, I think that's all that I have for you guys. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you could always get in contact with me. Use my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group threes. Welcome to your reading. If you chose thumbnail image 3, or however you found yourself here, welcome. Today we're going to be getting into how do you view yourself versus how others view you. We're going to hop straight into it. Now, for group 1 and group 2, I did not use the flash because I was, hoping that the natural light would come in and, save the day, but it really wasn't giving what it was supposed to give. So I turned on the flash for you guys so you can see better. So that could be something about how you view yourself or how others view you. You bring the light. I'm hearing that song from Camp Rock. You're giving me a fire. You're bringing me the fire. I was thinking thunder, but fire is good. You're a bit of a spitfire. You talk a lot, maybe. That could be coming through for you guys. But we're going to start off with how you view yourself over here, how others view you over here, and then we're going to get into it. We're going to get the cards out first. Group 1. Ooh. 3. Jeez Louise. Group 3, please, Spirit. How do they view themselves? How do they view themselves, please, Spirit? A lot of beautiful cards coming through for you guys. Stop peeping. Mind your business now. Group 3. How do other people view them? Group 3, how do other people view them? If you can hear the AC in the background, I apologize. But I think I found an app that lets you remove the background noise, okay? I have the free trial for like 7 days, so I'm trying to do all my videos where I have to be in front of the AC now. Okay, group 3, how do they view themselves? You could be a breath of fresh air as well. How do other people view them? Was that for how you view Nope. How do other people view them? Please, Spirit, how do other people view my group 3s? A little maybe chaotic. Unpredictable is what I'm hearing as well. Okay. One more card I heard. Appreciate you. Oh no! I was trying to get an extra card to make it better, and that card just made it worse. What's and what's okay. Thanks. How do my group 3s view themselves, please, Spirit? How do they view themselves? I'm just trying to not lean. They're not just getting straight forearm, but dead. Now, how do other people view them? Your cards are very, very talkative. How do other people view my group 3s? Now, I got a question. Do you want to have a slumber party in my basement? Is my love your drug? That song was coming through by Cashapp. That could be coming through naturally, or because I was watching TikTok before I started your reading. I needed a palette cleanser after group 1 and group 2. So I was on TikTok kikiing. And that song came on for something. So your love is my drug is coming through for you guys. Now let's get into the reading. You have a lot of cards for how you view yourself and not so many for how others view you. So you can have a very high opinion of yourself. Here we have the Lovers, the Patient Witch. Now it makes sense why I called group 1s. This came through for group 1. Some of you could be coming from group 1. We have the Queen of Swords. I love how we have the Knight of Swords. Now we have the Queen of Swords. Okay, let's start with these first. So the Lover's energy is Gemini, so very talkative, very friendly. You're always willing and happy and able to start a conversation with people, okay? There's something here about you being very, I don't know. What's the word that I can use? Inquisitive, charming, funny, witty, all those things. You know how to tell a good joke. Geminis know how to ask all the invasive questions, so you can be very nosy as well. But there's something here about you always asking somebody how they're doing, ask people how they're doing, how they're feeling, that kind of thing. You see how she has her hand on the lady's shoulder, like, are you okay? Checking in on people. Like, that's the kind of person you could think you are. You're always asking people how they are, how they're doing, how's life going, checking in on them. That's how you view yourself, okay? The Lovers is an energy about making decisions. You could find yourself that you're very decisive. I wanted to say divisive. Interesting. You're very decisive. Okay. And the lover says, will you or won't you? The choice is yours. So maybe indecisive. Because divisive can be like people who break people apart, but it could mean like indecisive, you know? Or I'm hearing devil's advocate as well, where you kind of give them a different perspective, you know? But Gemini's are very intellectual. They're ruled by Mercury, so you could talk fast, think fast, move fast, act fast, all that kind of thing, or all those kinds of things. You're very good when it comes to things of the mind, the intellect, okay? Smart. Now we have the patient witch, which is the hangman. And the hangman is Pisces energy. And Pisces energy is 12th house energy. I went over this in group one, and there's an energy here of keeping things hidden, putting on an illusion of being okay. It could be something coming through for you. That's a different turn on what came through for group one. But for you guys, I'm getting you put on the illusion of being okay, and you're always checking in on everyone else because you wish that's what they would do for you. Is a little bit of the vibe coming through here, because people who are always like there for people, they're very caring. They're always asking, like, you're good, you need any help, like, how's life going, always checking in. They're the kind of people who know that they could use the same courtesy, so they try to be for other people what they don't have in their own life. So there's something here about that coming through. Okay. 12th house is the house of illusions. It is the house of addictions. It is the house of dreams, right? It is the house of like bad habits as well. I'm hearing living in like la la land. And it's funny because, well, not, it makes a lot of sense because Pisces are known as like using escapism or not being able to always face the truth. So that could be something coming through as well. Maybe like you run away from things. That's how you view yourself, as someone who runs away from problems or issues or conflict, whatever you want to call it, whatever floats your boat. Maybe you have a tendency to isolate yourself away from other people as well. So as much as you are there for them and always asking them questions, you do also isolate and, spend a lot of time by yourself or in your head. It's like trapped in your head, right? I'm getting a little bit of like Eight of Swords energy here, where it's like victim mentality. So you like to make yourself the victim. Um, and I understand that everybody goes through things, and at one point in your life you could have been the victim, but that doesn't mean you have to live your life as a victim. There's a difference. Being a victim once upon a time and then trying to use that to gain sympathy or empathy, or trying to use it as an excuse not to grow up or whatever. People do all kinds of stuff. That could be something that's coming through for you guys. You use it as like a crutch. Like some people, you turn their pain into power, and you're kind of like turning it into a crutch. Like I went through this, and I can't move on. Like you're giving me the example of men. Not that this is a funny matter. Men who like had their heart broken once in like third grade, and they use that as their driving reason for never trusting a woman ever again or falling in love. Like I had my heart broken when I was in third grade when I was 5 years old, and because of that, I can never trust a woman again or fall in love again. Is the vibe come through because you went through something? You're always using that one thing to get through life. Victim mentality coming through for you guys, right? And that's where you're stuck in the illusion of I'm always this victim when you're not. It's a certain moment or there's a certain time in life where you have to take ownership for that pain. Nobody's saying you have to forgive, even though forgiveness is quite healing as well. And the forgiveness is not for you. I mean, not for them. It's for you, so you can move on. You don't even have to tell the person you forgive them. It's just about realizing that whatever may have happened, you didn't have any control over it. Because no one wants to be the victim. Even if you think I put myself in that position, I shouldn't have been there. I shouldn't have done that. This is my penance, whatever. No. I don't care if you went somewhere dressed scantily clad and this person took advantage of you. I shouldn't have went there. No, they shouldn't have taken advantage. Right? That's the kind of energy coming through here where you like to, not stay stuck in that energy, but it's like you constantly maybe staying stuck or constantly blaming yourself for things that were out of your control. Just because you were dressed any kind of way doesn't give that person. Just for example, say guys, that's the best example I can come up with because that's a very rampant in our society. Well, she should have been wearing more clothes. No, that man or woman or person should have kept their hands to their freaking self. That's the true lesson in it. And you're with that narrative, you're making women or men think that because they were dressed a certain kind of way, they deserve what happened. That's so freaking toxic and ghetto. Like I'll be ready to bark on people. Like, because no, we're not doing this in 2025. Like, stop it. No. But anyway, that's kind of coming to that could be a vibe for you guys. You're always there for everyone else because you know what it's like to feel entirely alone. You don't want anyone to ever feel that way. Okay? Now, we have the Queen of Swords. So there's something here about chatting and talking because then we also had the Knight of Swords coming through here. So reading, smarts. I'm hearing reading, writing, and arithmetic. So you could have been a really good student. I'm hearing school could have been your salvation. Going to school could have gotten you out of a toxic household and allowed you to be like a kid again. Don't you dare lower your voice for anyone. Yeah, that could be something you're learning, I feel like, along this journey. You're learning to speak up for yourself, to advocate for yourself. But you do see yourself as someone who's very straightforward, who's very to the point, someone who could be a little cold, a little standoffish, a little snobbish is what I'm hearing as well. The Queen of Pentacles is someone who's like older, distinguished, has seen a lot of things. She's the divorcee. So she has been betrayed once or twice in her life. She has gone through the ringer and come out on the other side and has survived. So this is someone who is war hardened. Okay? I'm not laughing at you. It's just the war hardened criminal I wanted to say. And I'm like, no, we're not doing that. Unless you are a war hardened criminal, then that's just, I'm spitting the facts. But that's the kind of vibe coming through. Like, I've been through some things. I have the scars to prove it. Inner scars, outer scars, you name it, okay? Y'all are funny. Y'all use humor to deflect from pain because I keep laughing. And in my head, I keep hearing like little funny quips. I was hearing greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, turkey, you name it. And that made me laugh. And I'm like, wait, we're talking about serious things. Why are we laughing? Yeah, you use humor to deflect from, painful things. You're like, no, we're not going to get too deep into that. Yeah, I went through this. Let's laugh and move on, right? No, guys, deal with it. Okay? It's funny because there was like something that I saw on, it was either TikTok or Instagram where, what was it? I've been seeing a lot of advertisements for BetterHelp lately, and I think it could have been under one of those advertisements. Someone was saying this helped me, whatever, and a black girl was like, I don't know if I want to heal, so I don't know where I would be without my humor. Like my humor got me through a lot of stuff. I'm convinced that all those black people are funny is because we've been through so much trauma. So where would we still be funny without all the trauma we went through? And I'm like, oh, that's a very interesting take on things. And I get that vibe from you where it's like, if I heal, will I still be the same person? Will I still be the same funny person? You know what I mean? Will I still have the same friends? You could be like scared of change. You're scared of change. Could be something how you view yourself as well. Now, the Knight of Swords is also another very inquisitive energy, but it's more like it's not as pristine and mature as the Queen of Swords. So they're asking a lot of questions. They're reading a lot of books. They want to know something. They're learning it themselves, that kind of thing. I'm hearing a rabbit hole. You could go down a rabbit hole of consumption, social media, books, Google searches. I know the feeling. So social media, your phone can be very important to you. You're always attached to your phone or always on your phone. You can't put your phone down. That kind of energy is coming through for you guys as well. And it's funny how she literally has her phone in one hand and her book in the other hand. So your hands are always occupied with something. There's something here about like a stare down. Like you have to stare at people. Or you have like a very, look at how her eyes are like, kind of like, I wouldn't say dead, but how can I best describe it? That kind of like blank stare. That could be something coming through for you guys as well. But more cards. We have more cards. More cards abound. We have the Hermit card. This is your sense of healing to you by yourself. The Hermit card and the Hangman coming out in one reading is very funny to me because they kind of mean the same thing, but not at the same time. The Hermit is someone who's going on a journey of self-reflection, I wouldn't say self-preservation. That's not what I meant, but self-advancement. He wants to know more about himself and learn more. He wants to do the inner healing work. Okay? He wants to grow soul on a soul level, essentially. The Hermit card here says there are some things that must be done on your own. That's something coming through here. You could have learned recently that you have to learn to do things by yourself. Someone can't always come and save you. And that could be, or that could have been what led to all these reading books and things. And the Queen of Swords is at a book club. And then the Knight of Swords, we have a book blogger. And then there could be something about that. You love books. But yeah, all these books she's reading around her, or journals or whatever she calls it. Then we have like a unicorn on the wall. So colorful hair could be coming through as well. I'm someone who you consider yourself very unique. Okay, I'm hearing Aquarian in some kind of way, different than everyone else. Okay, this is also kind of giving me queer, pansexual, demisexual stuff like that is coming through for this specific card. Okay. But yeah, you definitely see yourself as different. You're not like everyone else. And that's like you're saying that in a proud way. Or you're feeling that way about yourself proudly. Okay? Hermit kind of went through that already. You like spending time on your own to recharge. But the Hermit card is more so giving me you're someone who has dug themselves out of the grief, out of the victim mentality, out of the pain. Because you want to become a better person. You're putting in the work. So you see yourself as someone who's healing. I love that for you. Okay. Now we have Knight of Pentacles, another knight coming through. So I'm hearing I'm on my way. I'm on my way up. Don't look down. Because I found the light inside of me. Something like that is coming through. I can't remember the name of the song. I think it's On My Way Up. But this knight energy is someone who's taken a step up from being a page. So you're one step closer to being a queen, which is someone who is more mature, someone who has more of a hold on themselves and on life. You know, that kind of energy is coming through for you guys. So that could be something coming through for you. You have two knights. So someone who's maturing, who's growing older, going wiser. And this knight is a knight of pentacles. So when it comes to work, okay, I'm hearing in studies, okay? So we have slowly but surely you're going places. Yeah, someone who's taken the time to learn. So it's being like school or just studying things on your own, you know? And the last card we have is Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Cups says, okay, but sometimes it really is all rainbows and smiles. I'm getting a childlike energy from this Ten of Cups, and that's not usually what I get from the Ten of Cups, but it's definitely someone who's like not romanticizing life, but making the best of the moments in life, okay? Appreciating when things are all just rainbows and smiles, okay? Ten of Cups represents complete emotional fulfillment, everything you could want out of a relationship, a partner, anything, okay? And that's what's coming through for you guys for how you view yourself. So you see yourself as the prize when it comes to emotional maturity or connections. Like anyone should be lucky to be with me because I'm the kind of person who has all their emotional things in order. You know, their emotional affairs in order, right? Or I can make someone really, really happy one day is the kind of vibe coming through. Because I know me, I've been through things, I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm becoming someone, I'm proud of myself. And now I'm like, yeah, the Ten of Cups. I'm Ten of Cups for somebody out there, you know? And then I love how we have the Lover's card coming through here. So you may see yourself as the other half of a connection, a happy connection, a happy marriage, because the Lovers is divine counterparts and the Ten of Cups is marriage, soulmate kind of energy, okay? So that's coming through. So you see yourself as like, you define yourself as someone who can be in a relationship. Most people, like when they define themselves, it's just them, even if they are in a connection, but you, like, this person is also part of your identity in some kind of way, if that makes sense. You could have like a lover who's been there for a long time, who helped you become better, who turned you into the person you are now, who's been beside by your side when you were younger, who's seen you do some things, that kind of stuff could be coming through. Now we have trickery. Oh Lord, how do you view yourself? Trickery? That's crazy. You can see yourself. I love how you guys had like, or you have the Lovers, and that's the Gemini energy. You know, we have like, the trickery energy coming through. You can see yourself as like a little bit of a trickster, okay, a little mischievous, that kind of thing. But trickery, I don't know. if this is supposed to be like a bad thing or not. Because trickery is never good. Trickery is never good. Nobody wants to be tricked. Interesting. Y'all be tricking people out here? Excuse me. Nobody wants to be tricked in either sense of the word, okay? That's funny. I'm hearing Halloween can be really fun for you because trick or treat is coming through for whatever reason. But this is funny, not trickery. Interesting. The next card we have here is influence. You can see yourself as a good influence on people with the Ten of Cups coming through. And then we have upheaval, which is tower energy, which, spoiler alert, the tower came out on the other side for your how do others view you energy. Okay? So here we have the upheaval. You have someone who's been through a lot of ups and downs in life. You've been displaced, you've been misplaced, you've been beaten, you've been broken down. You've been broken down and tired. All those things. Living life on a merry-go-round. That makes a lot of sense. Maybe you're finally finding some emotional stability after going on a merry-go-round. Interesting. But yeah, upheaval. It's an energy of things changing very fast and quick. How can this tie into how you view yourself? Maybe you kind of see yourself as something most people don't see except see coming. A little bit like a tornado or a hurricane. Maybe you see yourself as destructive in some kind of way, or challenging, or you bring a lot of change to people's lives. That could be something coming through. Let's get some cards from this deck, which I forgot to get for group 2. Sorry, group 2. How do my group 3s view themselves? We have 𝐓𝐴𝐷𝐷𝐷. Go deeper. Ooh, yeah. Those deep conversations. And tell me that this doesn't look like it's shaped like a heart. Like a real heart, not a love heart. The heart that's in your chest. It's giving heart. And it says go deeper. So you're definitely someone who's quite deep, I would say. We have Pyrite, which also came through in Group 1, as well as some other cards here. So definitely go watch Group 1 if you feel called to it. We have Let the Money Flow In. Pyrite is considered fool's gold. Okay, and I love how we have two like gold kind of things coming through. 𝐓𝐴𝐷𝐷𝐷 is more giving me green, but it has the same coloring down here as this Pyrite as well. So you find yourself as very abundant in many ways, okay? And then we have the Black Kyanite. Set strong boundaries. Yes, this makes a lot of sense here. You could definitely be someone who's like going through a major upheaval or has gone through a lot of major upheavals in life, and it has led to you being someone who's more emotionally sound, okay, and someone who's had to learn to set strong boundaries. Right. So maybe, I mean, people who first lack strong boundaries are the people who have to now build strong boundaries. So you could have seen yourself as someone who used to have, weak boundaries. And now you're learning to have better boundaries with people. Okay. Now we're going to put this side away for you guys and get into how other people view you. Okay. Thankfully, I have a pretty good memory so I can remember what came out for what side, in case we have to bring them back up. Just put them to the side. Okay, so now we have your how do people view you. We have the Ten of Wands. We have a King of Wands, Four of Swords. You have confident. You have someone who's very laid back, nonchalant. Ten of Wands, someone who's very, I'm hearing busy or burdened by a lot of things. We have the Nine of Swords and we have the Tower. Jesus Christ. We also have isolation. We have nature. And we have freedom. So you went from someone who was in isolation to someone who has found their freedom. I love that for you, honestly. But let us get into these cards here first, okay? The first card we have is Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is being burdened by a lot of things, a lot of responsibilities, physically tired, like weighed down. I can't walk another step is the vibe of the Ten of Wands. So Ten of Wands could be someone who has like carry a lot of weight around. So you could be someone who has like a lot of weight on you physically or like metaphorically, where I'm having all these problems at work and I have kids and I have a husband and I have this and I have that. And there's just like a lot of burdens in your life. It could be family burdens. There's a lot of people depending on you or pulling on your energy and your time, that kind of thing. Or like I said, the physical burden of having to carry around a lot of weight physically, which is very funny to come through. It hasn't come through yet, but it's coming through here for you guys. And it says, okay, not even okay. Why make things so much more difficult than they need to be? Maybe you're seen as someone who makes things more difficult than they need to be. A little bit of an overthinker. And we have Nine of Swords here. Yeah, so you're an overthinker. Absolutely. The next card we have here is the King of Wands. You are someone who is very confident, I would say. People see you as someone who's very confident. This is how others view you, okay? Someone who's very attractive, who knows how to attract the crowd, someone who gets a lot of attention, right? I'm hearing an attention, WHORE, right? That's the kind of energy coming through for you guys. So people see you as someone who likes attention on them at all times. In the card, it says, shine your inner candlelight bright enough for others to follow. So you definitely are a beacon of light, a beacon of hope. People love being around you. The King of Wands just has that kind of je ne sais quoi that brings people in and makes them want to stay, right? Charming, I'm hearing diplomatic, which is not usually the King of Wands for you, but it's coming through, so we'll keep it. That kind of thing. He knows how to get things in order, get things done, get people in shape, okay? I'm hearing a young whippersnapper. You can be someone who's very young, or you could work with young people and you whip them into shape. I don't know. We'll see what comes through with the rest of the cards. The next card here is we have the Four of Swords, which is a very laid back, chilling, contemplative. You're not giving me someone who's rash. This coming out to back up the King of Wands means you're not someone who's impulsive, right? And I mean in like making big decisions. Like I want to go. Maybe you are though, but I'm not getting that vibe with the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is someone who's more like contemplative and more meditative and more chill. But you can be both because both is coming out. So you have your moments of being very chill. People kind of see the chill side to you, but I'm also hearing high strung. But there are people who also see the more high strung side to you with the King of Wands. Okay, but at least give it up for you. People think you're hot, right? The next set of cards here we have is the Tower. Excuse me, I'm hearing that song from whatchamacallit, Cheers, where everybody knows your name. So maybe you go places where everyone knows your name. That kind of makes a lot of sense if you're popular with the King of Wands. People definitely like you guys. They like you're a very sociable kind of person. You go out drinking, dancing, partying, wilding out is what I'm getting. But then you also love your naps as well, or you love sleeping. So it's kind of you go out and have a wild party night and then come home and sleep the next day off, right? But then also we have insomnia coming through with 3 a.m. on the clock, and she's still awake. You're very much an overthinker. I don't want to say controlling. You can be controlling, but it's kind of like it comes through in like manipulative ways where you act like you don't want to control people, but you do it in like top it from the bottom. If you understand the might drift, like if you're someone who like knows about BDSM and kink, it's kind of like someone who says I'm giving you all the power, but still tries to do things to control the person who's supposed to be truly in control. Okay, but this is kind of giving me. I'm hearing it's 5 a.m. and my lover won't answer. Oh, to 3 a.m. He's probably somewhere with a dancer, sipping champagne while I'm in his bed. Right? It's a song by Melanie Fiona. It's either five. I think it's 5 a.m. And she's kind of like up at 5 a.m. wondering where her man at. He ain't in bed next to her, so he got to be out here drinking champagne with a dancer, kind of thing. You overthink things. You're up at night, you can't sleep, you could have problems sleeping, which would make sense why you fall asleep in the armchair instead of the bed. Because when you're in the bed, you can't sleep, right? So insomniac. I'm here. Insomnia. Insomnia by Dea. But this tower, it's giving a little bit of a train wreck. Have y'all seen that movie with Amy Schumer? Is it Schumer? Amy, whatever her name is. She's the blonde, like big boned, chunky. See, that's coming through again, a little bit of chunky. Um, I think it's Schumer. Yeah, a comedian who was in that movie with the other guy from SNL. I forget his name, but basically it was about her being a complete train wreck. And I think she's like dating in NYC, and it's like someone sets her up with him, or she goes on a date with him, and at first she's like, he's I'm on his league or something, or she's not into him at all, and then she starts catching feelings for him, and she ends up ruining the relationship and all that kind of stuff is coming through for you guys as well. So That you could be someone who ruins relationships because you're a little bit of a train wreck emotionally, which you kind of went through a little bit in the first half of the reading with how you view yourself, but with how people view you, you're coming through a little bit chaotic. We're not gonna lie here. The Tower says, "Get ready. Things are about to get shaken up." So wherever you go, you shake the energy up, or you're just someone who's chaotic. Accept it. Sometimes you gotta accept the things that we are. But this is how other people view you. They can have a good perception or a bad perception. You never really know. But Nine of Swords says we all get a bit carried away with our worries sometimes. So you definitely are worry word. You worry about everything. Yeah. Let us move on. Here we have isolation. So you are seeing as someone who does isolate themselves. Put that here so you can see it. So you can see it. What about that made me think of that song? I'm hearing that new song by Cardi B. She says, "Some da 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 da. I'm gonna step out, just ba 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 ba." But outside by Cardi B is coming through. I heard it when I'm like, "Let's put this here" or something like that. I'm like, but where did that song come through for? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. But that song was coming through, and basically that's like a get back song to her ex husband or about to be divorced from husband Offset. I don't know that man's real name. I don't care. But she wrote that song because he kept cheating on her, and I think he had like a I was gonna say baby outside of the relationship. I don't think he did, but it could be. I'm not 100% sure. But they're divorced now officially. Have the last baby together sometime last year, and she just came out on went ham on this song, literally like dissing him, saying you missed out, boy, and that kind of thing. So you're a little bit of a crash out because Cardi B is most definitely a crash out. Okay, we have nature, so you could be someone who's like a very natural beauty, a natural person. You love being out in nature, either or. You love animals, that kind of thing is coming through as well. And then here we have freedom. So there's an aspect of you like finding freedom from all the things that would hold you back. Especially with this Ten of Wands being the first card coming out here for you guys. I do want to get some cards. You have Angelite, beautiful. Bro, relax. Support is all around you. This is a beautiful stone. I love Angelite. Support is all around you. And we have rose quartz. Open up your heart. We're getting all the traditional stones that I actually know about. And then we have Amazonite. Yeah, I know all these stones. Loosen your grip. Yeah, so you are very controlling. You like to be in control of everything. Very demanding as well. And these two are giving me freaking lollipops. So lollipops can be important. Like, I just want to eat them. They're giving lollipops. So you can open. So there's something here about you being able to open your heart very easily. Okay, you having support all around you, and having to learn how to loosen your grip is definitely something coming through for you guys. Very interesting. But I think that's something I have for you guys. There's something here about like colors. You're a very colorful person. You can wear a lot of colors, or like I said, your hair could have a lot of colors, or something could be like the tea in these cards right here. So yeah, I think that's what I have for you guys. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you could always get in contact with me using my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. As always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group fours. Welcome to your reading. If you chose thumbnail image 4 or however you found your way here, welcome. Today's reading is going to be about how you view yourself versus how others view you. Okay, so we're going to get right into the reading. If you hear the AC in the background, which I'm sure you probably don't if I use the app that I use for the other reading, but if you do, sorry. But the reading is going to be about, yeah, basically how do you view yourself versus how everyone else views you. And I'm going to get right into it. At the bottom of the deck, we have the sun. Very interesting. Group 4, please spare. How do they view themselves? I'm going to move my hand so you're not just seeing straight forearm. How do they view themselves, please, Spirit? Give me all the tea. Jeez Louise. Can I get one more card, please, Spirit? One more card. How does my group force view themselves? How do my group force view themselves? Oh God. Okay. Spoiler alert, I'm pretty sure you saw a card. And then we have the Two of Cups. Oh, how cute. Bruh. Stop being a heather. What with you? And the sun keeps popping up. What do you want, sun? If you want to come out, then you should pop out. Don't stay in the deck. And it's still there. The sun. Okay. How do other people view them, please, Spirit? How do other people view my group? Fools, please. How do other people view them? Some people can be very posh, very proper. So I keep finding myself slipping into my British accent. Group full, please. Okay, we have one card. How do people view them? One more. Jesus. Okay. I want it to be a surprise for all of us. Group 4, please, for how do they view themselves? Jeez Louise. Period. I love this energy. I love this energy. I love how y'all see yourselves. We have the Empress and Sacred Space. You said what you said. How do other people view my group force? That cards are talkative. I'm hearing the provocative. Who cares? It's provocative. And it's funny because I was listening to that song yesterday. It's the song called N-Words in Paris by Kanye, I think. Are these the ones I fell out? I'm not even sure anymore. This was there. Now I don't know which is for which. That's crazy. I should have been looking and not talking. You know what? We'll just do that and we'll do that and whatever happens, happens. Okay. So for my group force, how do you view yourselves? We have the Tower. Oh my gosh. Here's a song. Oh, 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 yeah. To the good, to the good, to the good, I'm not ready to die, not yet. Hold me on. A Train Wreck by James Arthur is coming through. This came through for group 2. I mean, no, group 3, I think. So there can be some connection if you feel called to those groups. 2 or 3. We have Eight of Pentacles. You see yourself as a hard worker. You see yourself a little bit of a mess. You know what I mean? And it's like a cute mess. It's an attractive mess. It's a I know where everything is mess, right? That's the kind of vibe coming through for you guys. Where I know everything is. Maybe you feel like everything in your life seems to be a little bit up in the air, all over the place. You don't really know what to do, where to go, that kind of thing. Where you're going next. That kind of stuff is coming through for you guys. It's kind of like your house just got burned down. You're watching it burn down. You're kind of like, oh, where do I go from here? Okay. That's the vibe I'm getting. So let's see what else we have. We have Temperance. And we'll just stop here for now because I don't know why all the cards can't fit. Being annoying. So like I said, the Tower is an energy. Things are about to get shaken up. So I do believe you're a bit of an exciting kind of energy. You kind of bring the heat. You bring the passion. You kind of bring a little bit of chaos. And chaos is not always a bad thing, okay? Sometimes it's very needed. Sometimes it's very necessary. In the Tower, most of the time it is. It gets you out of your comfort zone. So you see yourself as someone who kind of like shakes things up in a good way, or it could be in a bad way. Who knows? Um, there's certain people who come into other people's lives to be a presence of transformation and death, you know? And that could be who you guys are. When you come into people's lives, things start going really bad for them. because you're their sign or their omen to like grow the F up and wake up and make their life better. You know what I mean? That kind of energy, that can be the kind of person you are for everyone. You kind of bring about power moments in their lives. And it's because they're supposed to grow up and move on. Like, what else do you mean, you know? The tower is Plutonian energy. And Pluto is, I'm trying to remember what house Pluto is. Eighth house energy, I think. Because Pluto rules over Scorpio, right? Yeah, Pluto's like death and transformation and becoming something new, other. I'm hearing Phoenix rising from the ashes. Very interesting. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Maybe you guys can get distracted very easily. Like I'm hearing squirrel. You know when dogs see squirrels, they get like distracted. I Okay, I gotta come back or else I'm gonna be here forever. Okay, I got distracted for a minute. Okay, maybe some of you are like, you pick things on your body, because I'm sitting here picking my eyebrows. You can't see me. I'm picking my face a little bit because there's like some. I think it's a sunscreen I've been using has been like making me break out a little bit, and I'm just sitting here just like picking at my face. That could be something that you do as well. But in the break, when I was just sitting here doing what I do, I was hearing this song from Cardi B, and it came through in group three, funnily enough, and it was like, but it wasn't coming fully through. For your group, for whatever reason, I was sitting here just like, bothering myself. And I heard one line very clear, where she's like, do you like you do me? Bet you we won't speak again. Your favorite football player or basketball player, he in my DMs. I'm going out on the pop out something because it's hot out, whatever, outside by Cardi B is coming through. So I'm getting a little bit of like you crash out, you know what I mean? Because Cardi B was not playing when, I think she let too much slide. So when she finally like went off, she was doing it in a spectacular fashion. She wasn't doing it on the low key, trying to keep the peace kind of thing. She's like, no, do you like you do me? Bet you we won't speak again. I got your favorite basketball player, b-ball player, he in my DMs. Like, you want to go, we could go tit for tat if you want to play those games, right? So very ruthless kind of energy is coming through with the tower as well. This could have been you burning somebody's treehouse because they did something to you, which, I'm not going to condone violence, but sometimes things happen, right? Anyway, yeah, then we have the Eight of Pentacles. You work really hard, okay? I'm hearing you may not have time for love because you're always working. Because this heart on her shirt is kind of giving me the Grinch, and how by the end of the movie his heart had grown three sizes. Right? You're good at tinkering things. You're good with your hands. You're good at fixing, making, creating stuff. Is what's coming through. You could be like a little bit of an arts and crafts girly. Okay, a little bit of an arts and crafts girly. That is coming through, but you're definitely really good with your hands. You're kind of like a builder, right? Now I'm hearing Bob the Builder, can you fix it? That's coming through as well. So you guys could be like builders. You use your hands and crafts and stuff like that is coming through for you guys. And then the card says, sorry, but fairies aren't going to come and do all the work for you. So you definitely do your own work. You carry your own weight. You're not expecting anybody to do anything for you. You're not cheating off anybody else's tests. You're doing all the work yourself. So it's like giving self-made or building from the ground up kind of energy. Because you could have started at the Ace of Pentacles. You got the Eight of Pentacles card. The next card is independence and luxury. Like you built the house from the ground up. Now you get to, reap the fruits of your labor. But right now you're on the Eight of Pentacles phase where you're still putting in those finishing touches. You're still trying to become your own boss. You finally do. You're going to be able to be in that Nine of Pentacles and just sitting back and, reaping what you've sown kind of energy. And that's something that how you view yourself, okay? Now we have the Temperance energy. So someone who is very balanced. Someone who doesn't really do not too much. but just enough, right? It's like if someone tries me, I'm going to get back at them in just the same way they got back at me, you know? You're going to get your look back, get your get back kind of energy coming through here. The temperance is also someone who doesn't talk too loud, doesn't eat too much, doesn't overwork themselves, doesn't underwork themselves. You do just the right amount of everything. You know what I mean? Watch just the right amount of TV, read just the right amount of books, do just the right amount of exercise, eat just the right amount of food, that kind of thing. And I'm kind of getting a little bit boring. Maybe you see yourself as like boring or goody two shoes, or you follow the rules. It's the kind of energy that I'm getting from that temperance card. The temperance card is also definitely giving someone who's well adjusted, because we have her dressed, hair slayed, have her hat on, her steaming cup of coffee, and she's just sitting there ready to take on the world, right? And that's literally what it says. Let go of self-imposed limitations. That's definitely something that you do. Because maybe when things do go wrong in your life, you still picked yourself up by the bootstraps and kept going, right? You relied heavily on spirit and yourself to get you out of this. Because I don't know if that's a tear. I don't think it's a tear, but it's like a little thing on her eye right there. And it could look like she's crying after her house got burned out, her treehouse got burned down. But she's the kind of person that's gonna go outside the next day and rebuild a new one. And it's funny how the treehouse is burning down in this card here, and then in this card we have all these other houses. She's like, I can build 15 of them. I don't need that one, that kind of thing. So you don't really dwell on things that go crumble in your face, because you're just gonna rebuild it again, you know? But you've definitely let go of self-imposed limitations. The next card here we have is the Empress card. So very motherly, very caring, very nurturing, very fertile, very abundant kind of energy. You care deeply about people. I'm hearing the human race, about kids. You could be a mother yourself. But the Empress card says there is beauty to be found in every experience. So you make the best out of any situation is definitely a vibe coming through for you. You make the best of every situation. Can you see it better now? Yes, there's beauty to be found in every experience. And then we have the Page of Wands. So you're giving me like very giddy, very excitable. You're someone who is you're easy to follow. You're a leader, but you do it in a way where people don't realize that you're leading them. This is the vibe that's coming through. So you see yourself as someone who's very bright, passionate, and full of life, and always ready to do something new and go on an adventure, which is kind of giving me a little bit of like Group One vibes, if you felt called Group One. I mean, of course, some people are going to be, more similar than not in the world that we live in. But you don't. That doesn't mean you have to go watch Group One. But I'm getting like similar vibes, not too similar. But the Page of Wands is definitely someone who is willing to try something at least once, try something at least twice. This is someone who wants to live life, who wants to experience the beauty. So you could be like a very nature person. You take the scenic route, okay? The Page of Wands says just because you're passionate about it doesn't mean it will be effortless. Okay? So you're definitely passionate and very creative about a lot of things. With the Eight of Pentacles, the Page of Wands is giving me I have an idea, and it's giving me where's that from? I got an idea. Is that from SpongeBob? It could be from SpongeBob, but what I was getting it's from I was thinking of Phineas and Ferb. How in the show they would always ask each other, "So what are we gonna do today?" And then like a few minutes in, we have Phineas, "Ferb, I know what we're gonna do today." They would just build these big extravagant things, and it would only be one day only, and they would go on these big cool adventures. And then by the time the next day came, they forgot about that adventure and start on a new one. Right? That's the kind of energy coming through for you guys. Okay. You're willing to put in the work and effort things take to be successful, which is why you are successful. With these flowers, there is something here about everything around you seeming to like glow or be very bright. You know what I mean? I'm getting that overexposure is what it's called, when everything is like too bright and like it hurts your eyes. That's what I'm kind of getting here for you guys. That's how you view yourself, as someone who's very bright, someone who's very composed, someone who's very beautiful, someone who's very regal, okay? Someone who is like very nurturing, mothering, someone who likes people, takes care of them, wants to help, right? But also someone who's very fertile, very successful, you made a name for yourself kind of thing. You know what I mean? Someone who wants to have kids, someone who wants to be a mother, someone who prioritizes those things. And you're the first group who's getting free major arcana cards for your spread for who you think you are. So you are the person you think you are, okay? You are who you think you are. I'm hearing, if you are what you say you are, a superstar. I think that song is coming to, I think it's Lupe Fiasco, if I'm not mistaken. That's the name of his song. It could be Superstar or something. But there was another song that was coming through as well. If you are what you say you are. No, just that one, I think. I think it was another one, but it's not coming through. Yeah, it's not coming through. Okay, well, do it another time. Okay, sorry. I'm getting so distracted, guys. Like you're someone who gets really caught up in the things that you're doing. It's kind of like unhealthily obsessed with one specific thing until you get it done. You fixate on it until it's done. It will bother you if you didn't get to do it. That kind of thing is coming through. Okay. You could be someone who loves nature as well. You see yourself as someone who loves nature. For the crow cards, we have a luck. So you're someone who's very lucky. Things always seem to work out for you, which is that Empress energy. So I'm not surprised in the slightest. The Empress gets whatever she wants, right? She is beauty, she is grace. Everyone wants to make her happy and do things for her. So things could just happen very easy for you. You could have that lucky girl or lucky boy syndrome. Here we have growth. You do see yourself as someone who's experienced immense growth. You've changed a lot. It's for growth to have happened. You've had to have been someone kind of completely different to be someone the person you are now, right? So to go from the Tower to the Empress energy is a very big jump. Even the Tower to the Temperance energy is a very big jump. So things have fallen down around you, but you've gotten back up, kept fighting, and now you're better off for it, right? We have self-interest, so people could see you as maybe a little selfish or just focus on being the best version of yourself. It could be as simple as that. Because self-interest means you're focused on you. It doesn't have to be selfish, right? Then we have sacred space. So you definitely see yourself as someone who is sacred, especially with the Empress energy already coming through. It's just like I respect myself, I respect my boundaries, my body's a temple, all that kind of stuff. I do what needs to be done to keep me healthy so I can be around for the long haul, for the long term, okay? This is also giving two crows waiting for their babies to hatch. So there is something here about you being a mother. What you think about yourself is you're a good mother. You take care of your I'm hearing siblings or your children, right? And then here we have curiosity. So you're also a very curious person, which ties into that Page of Wands very well. Okay. You're definitely very focused on being the best because I'm hearing the Pokemon song. I want to be the very best that no one ever was. So that's very much a big thing for you, being the very best that no one ever was. For how other people view you, we have the King of Cups. We have the Hierophant. Okay, so you're someone who's very responsible, someone who's very caring, someone who's very mature, someone who's very youthful is what I'm getting as well. You could be like someone who looks really young for your age. Wow, we have the Queen of Cups and the 10, not 10, relax. We have the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups. I still can't say it right. That's crazy. So for the King of Cups, it says always compose yourself before giving a response. So people definitely see you as very composed, right? People can't ruffle your feathers. People may have never seen you upset. You're someone who can't control your. And I keep stuttering. Wait, relax. You're getting on my nerves. You can be someone who's very good at articulating yourself, who's very good at containing your emotions and not letting anybody see them upset or mad or angry, that kind of thing. You have a tight rein on how you feel about people. It doesn't take, or it takes a lot to like your feathers to be ruffled. You don't get out of character very often, right? The King of Cups is also someone who is very compassionate because since he feels a lot, you feel very deeply as well. You may not show it, but you feel very deeply. And that's how people see you. I'm hearing fresh, dewy, youthful can be coming through as well. Because we have her cheeks are stained with blush, her little sparkly queen star headband, and then we have the water outside. So you start your day right. You wake up, get dressed, do your makeup, get your coffee, then go to work is the kind of vibe coming through. I'm hearing routine, so you can have a routine. The next card we have is the Hierophant, and it says tradition is important, but it doesn't have to be everything. So you could definitely be someone who's breaking traditions or breaking stereotypical like standards or bylines or laws is what I'm hearing. Like women can't do this or women can't vote or women can't do that. There was something in one of these cards. Was it this card? No? Or am I bugging? No, I must be bugging. Well, kind of lost my train of thought there, but we'll just act like I didn't say anything and go back. The Hierophant is a very spiritual card, okay? He's a spiritual advisor, he's a spiritual guide, right? He is the opposite of the High Priestess in a way where he's more in the public, so you may be very public with your spiritual abilities, right? That's how people view you as someone who has those gifts and you share it with the world. The High Priestess will more so hide it than the Hierophant. He is someone who's actively in his community helping people with their problems. On the card it says tradition is important, but it doesn't have to be everything. Maybe you're someone who is non-traditional, which would make a lot of sense if you are someone who's not adhering to regular generalized religion. You're doing more of a spiritual approach to things, right? And that's something that's a lot of people frown down upon because they want to place you in a box. You have to be this or that. You have to be on this side or that side. When you're someone who's more spiritual, you can see where everyone is coming from. You have love for everyone. You are just pure energy. There's no such thing as this person is not like better than me, lower than me. It's kind of like we're all just vibing, right? Some of us vibe higher than others, and I have no ill will against you unless you have ill will against me, right? It's kind of like getting peace, love, and pixie dust. So the people see you as like very peaceful and very loving, okay? The Hierophant is also Taurus energy, so you are someone who likes to, you're a little bit of a homebody, I would say. Or people see you as a homebody. Maybe you have like certain traditions you follow. Maybe you could be potentially religious and there's specific things you have to do on those religions and you kind of follow everyone as well. Because I'm seeing an episode of Never Have I Ever where Davy had to go to her. It was a specific Indian holiday she had to go to, and it was like she couldn't escape it. Everyone would gather and like pray in the auditorium, and the women would go and gossip right after praying, and the guys would go do what guys do, and then Davy would like sneak off and try to go back to school and that kind of thing. I forget what season that was. It could have been season 2 or 1, maybe season 1, and it's kind of like just to follow traditions and things she grew up doing. So on Easter, or on Palm Sunday, or on Christmas, you're putting up the tree, that kind of thing, to commemorate the day somebody was born or the specific holiday. Birthdays can be big for you as well, or just holidays, things to celebrate. You like celebrating things with people. The next card we have for how people view you is the Queen of Cups. So you are very soft, you are very feminine. You could be a little bit of a pushover if you're talking about the low vibrational form of the Seven of Cups, right? Seven of Cups, if we're talking about the more evolved, the less evolved version of the Queen of Cups. What am I saying, guys? Send help. Stretch. Oh boy. Maybe there's something here about you and water. You could be a water sign. You don't have to necessarily be, but it's definitely giving Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces energy. And I do feel like that mixed or paired with the Hierophant someone who's very, very, very powerful and very, very, very spiritual. So it's kind of giving intuition, it's kind of giving clairvoyance, audience, clear cognizance, where people are around you and they just see mirror or miraculous things happen every time. They're kind of like, wait, did you see that? Were you the cause of that? Like that kind of thing. Sometimes they have to question themselves if you're like magical or not, you know? The next card we have is the Six of Wands, so someone who's very successful, and the Four of Pentacles, someone who's always saving money, someone who's always buying things, someone who can't keep their wallet to themselves, is what I just heard. That's funny. Good day, and that's a good day. The Six of Wands, you're kind of big deal to start acting like it. People see you as a big deal. You could be someone who's very popular, especially like spiritual circles. They're like, oh my gosh, have you heard from that person? Have you seen this person's channel? That kind of thing. We have like a lot of respect for this person, but they don't see themselves as we do. I don't think anything remotely spiritual came through in your reading. Yeah, the Empress can be kind of spiritual. So the Temperance card, but nothing overtly spiritual is coming through. And for how you view yourself, but for how others view you, you're giving someone who's magical. You know, someone who looks good in clothes, someone who dresses really well, fashion sense, for sure. Four of Pentacles can either mean you're being very stingy with your money or you're just spending it all in one place. That could be the others see you or you having too many bags, which I can relate to because she has like four bags here and it's kind of like she's trying to decide which one she wants. The Four of Pentacles says treat yourself to something shiny every now and again. Shopaholic vibes. Maybe people who are around you or see you quite often or not, they always say, oh my gosh, this person has a new bag, they have a new pair of shoes, they have a new glasses, they have a new this, they have a new that. People be clocking your tea. They're nosy, okay? So people would definitely be watching you guys, okay? You could wear like very shiny jewelry. These two mixed together definitely give me fashionista or fashion how do you say the the male version of that? A fashionista or a fashionista? I don't know. But it's definitely giving that. You dress to the nines, you have all the bags to match. That kind of thing is coming through for you guys. You can be a little spacey. I found myself spacing out more in this reading than I did for group one, two, and three, right? Like just getting quiet. Maybe you are someone who's more quiet. You like to, like, chill in the vibes instead of talking. That makes a lot of sense. It would actually make a lot of sense. You're someone who wants to sit down and have a nice cup of coffee, relax, chill, mind your business, and not worry about anything, except for your small group of people. So people see you as someone who has like a very small following or small group of people who are always beside you whenever you hang out. Let's get into the crow card to see what came out for you. We have anticipation. People are always willing, ready to see what you do next. You get people excited. Here we have exposed. Oh my. I'm not sure what that could mean. Here we have insight. You do have a lot of insights. I'm not gonna lie, and I did catch that very, very much so. It's like you know how to get people out of slippery situations without compromising the entire mission, which is very, a responsible thing to do. And I understand why people would gravitate towards that. This looks like something you guys would drink with Temperance card coming out. for how you view yourself. So maybe you do drink very out there kinds of drinks. Because I have no idea what's in here. It's a bunch of rocks and water. Why is this like? Why are you in the water picking at the water, sir? It's not your water. Crazy. But yeah, the crow or hawk, I'm not 100% sure if it's exposed. Maybe you're someone who likes to keep yourself very vulnerable to certain things. I just heard I love him and like I don't heard like a butt coming. Interesting. So people can have like things to say to you or about you, but don't say it to your face. How rude. Very ghetto. That's the most ghetto thing in the world. Have it's something bad to say about me and trying to say it to everyone but me. Like, buck up. We're all grown here, right? Maybe you do show a lot of skin. Did I mention that for group one? I mean, for the first part of the group, maybe not. Then we have community, so people do feel quite safe around you. Where did you guys get that card, or was it another group? It was another group. Yeah, if I feel called more than one group, watch it. You have a little bit of like a challenge, competitive vibe to you. Because with this, I don't know what gave me the vibe, but you want to do things better than everyone else, which is why we had like the two. I was gonna say two birds. I don't see two birds here, except for this here. I wonder which one you are. If you're the hawk or if you're the raven. It's called no crows. I am getting a very quiet vibe from you guys, like contemplative, and it makes a lot of sense. Because for you guys, didn't we have the four of swords or something? No, I'm just confusing with another group. That's crazy. So people see you as someone who's very contemplative, right? There's something here about community, right? So you can have a community around you. And I love how we have anticipation. We have all these shirts that are empty. Then we have community. So people are waiting in line for you. You could have like a yeah. There's something here about a platform where people seeing you, somewhere where you have an audience and you perform or you talk, and people are always waiting for you there, waiting in the wings, right? You book a little small community so people see that about you or say that about you, right? They also think you are a very good friend or a member, an upstanding member of the citizen community. You recycle, you help people, all those things that need to be done when you live in a city. Take out the garbage at the right time. You cook dinner and then offer them some. Let me stop. Could be. You want to take care and make sure everyone is okay with you. Let's get some cards from this deck here and see what comes through. That song is coming out. I'm so small and tiny. He's so big and tall. Like Cardi, please, please. We have Black Kyanite, set strong boundaries. This is group three energy. I'm seeing group one in here as well. A lot of repeating energies. And here we have Iolite, which says shift your money mindset. Set stronger boundaries and shift your money mindset. So people view you as someone who sets strong boundaries, and you could have been someone who has shifted your money mindset, and that could have been to spend less, to spend more, to be more dedicated, building something. You know what I mean? To make some changes, to have some major goal met. Hmm. I'm not sure if people are seeing you as predator or prey in this, because the whatever this thing is called is aiming in, but the crow is like, ah, just chilling there, not scared at all. One more. People can be a little intimidated by you sometimes as well. How do others view my group? Four, please. One more card. We have Malachite. It's time to transform. And that's giving that Pluto energy that we were talking about earlier, I believe, with the tower. Yeah. So there's definitely something here about roots being planted, very strong, very firm roots. You're building a beautiful community around you. So people see your community, your friends, your family, your lovers, whatever, and they're like, oh my gosh, she's so lucky. Her life is so full. His life is so full. Their life is so full. That kind of thing. People have seen you go through a transformation. I feel like whatever that transformation may be for you or mean for you. And there is definitely something here about spending less money, transforming and becoming somebody different, more evolved, not completely changing who you are, but just like, turning into somebody better is what that's coming through for you guys, okay? But I'm definitely going to leave you reading right here. You have a lot of knowledge to give people. People do believe in you and trust in the word that you spread. It's kind of giving like a little bit of a preacher or preacher's daughter kind of energy coming through for you guys. How people view you. So innocent, sweet, that kind of thing. Strong, firm. I thought I saw something about a shell. I was misreading the word. So some of you could be like beach bums. You love the beach. You could be entertainers as well. You entertain people. And in each of these cards here, the crow is turned to the side. So maybe there's something here about there's a side of you people have never seen. Because in all these cards here, we have the crow facing this way. We have the crow facing this way. We have the crow facing its side. So we've never seen you full on. People really don't know who you truly are, but they like what they get to see. Is the vibe that's coming through for you guys. People want to be a part of your community. They like to shop for real because they're literally like shopping in this picture here. They're just kind of like, nothing wrong with something new and shiny every now and again, eh? That's the vibe coming through for you guys. And people, like I said, definitely see you as someone who is very mature, very wise. Because this compose yourself before you give a response is really like, packing a punch here. And Queen of Cups is honoring your emotions is one of the highest forms of self-care. So you're definitely someone who takes care of you and everybody around you. You keep your peace, hold your boundaries firm, love it, love it, love it. But there is also something here about you being a little non-traditional, even though you are very traditional. You're doing traditional in a non-traditional way, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm gonna leave your reading right here. I hope it resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you'd ever like to book a personal reading with me, you could always get in contact with me using my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye.